What's going on, guys? It is afternoon here in cold England. If you guys are new to this channel, my name is Peter Lacey, and for the past 9 months I've traveled to Singapore, Australia, Bali, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos. I always get people saying like, oh, I wish I was doing what you guys are doing. I wish I had an opportunity to travel like what you guys are doing. And to come to think of it, yeah, you can. Like anyone can travel. It's just a matter of saving money. There's no secret to travel, or I'm certainly not rich, and my parents are not rich. So in this video, I'm just gonna explain how I afford my travels. So the simple answer I can give you guys is that I simply save my money and I minimize my costs. 2 years ago, I graduated and I went into a job, and I pretty much saved up about £1,000 per month. At the end of every month, I would move the £1,000 into a separate bank account, so make sure that I don't touch the money. And at the end, I saved up in total of just under £7,000 under 11 months, about 10 months I saved that much. So it is realistic. It's just, you have to be patient. You know, you have to be motivated. You have to be passionate about traveling. And I promise you, it'll pay off. Instead of just saving up for a few months, save up for about a year, and you'll be able to travel for a lot longer time. And once you're there, trust me, you'll never want to come back unless you live somewhere really nice. Also as well, I was living back at home with my parents, so I didn't have any bills or anything to pay. So all the money I earned is mine basically. You gotta make sacrifice as well, like going out with your friends, socializing, going to the pub, going clubbing. You gotta really minimize your costs. I mean, don't put your life on hold. Don't stay in all day, all weekend, all month. But to minimize your costs, say if you was to go out clubbing or go out with your friends every week, maybe go out every 2 times a month. Also means like, not being able to eat out all the time. Things like, I don't own a car. I mean, at the time I would be able to afford a car, but I didn't. Instead, I caught buses, I caught train to work. Any phone bills you might have. I mean, most people are paying £30-40 for a phone bill. I mean, is there a way you can minimize those costs? Things like gym membership. Do you regularly go to the gym? That's like £10-15 plus a month you could save. So yeah, it's all about budgeting your money. You gotta also do your research as well. Where do you want to go? That will determine how much money you're going to be saving. How much is it going to cost you to stay per month? How much is it going to cost you per day? Doing research on activities. So like, what kind of activities will you want to do? How much will that cost? All this you can search on the internet. Best thing to do is to produce an Excel sheet and just budget all your money and expenses and work out that way. A good example is that if you're going to travel Asia, places like Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, it is super cheap to travel there. So you can get away with like £400-500 a month easily. Another way how I afford my travel is that I went on a working holiday visa in Australia. So many countries, including Australia, will have a working visa where you can apply for. So when I traveled to Australia, I started working for a few months, and that really helped me going in Australia in terms of living expenses and things like that. The good thing about working a holiday visa is that you're actually traveling, you're actually living abroad while working. So in a sense that you are working, you are saving money for future travels, but you're already there. I also save money by traveling with my girlfriend. So traveling in groups or as a couple, it really saves the money. You split down the cost of accommodation. For example, like in Australia, we got a shared apartment in Melbourne for about 4 months, and it worked out so much cheaper than staying in hostels. The same when we was in Asia. We could afford our own bathroom, our own place, aircon, everything for cheaper or the same price as what we stay in hostels. So yes, just traveling in groups or a couple definitely has huge benefits on your bank account. Another thing is to sell all the things that you don't need. I mean, most people have clothes that they don't need. Sell them on eBay. I mean, if you don't need a car to necessary travel to work, sell your car or sell your car at the end before you set off to travel. You know, your Xbox, your PlayStation. I mean, yeah, you're gonna miss it, but at the end of the day, that's a few £100, you know, saving your money. So saving money for several months can be very daunting and very uninspiring. You know, you just want to get out there and you just want to explore the world. But like I said, just be patient and it'll pay off. And one way to stay motivated, go on YouTube. You know, if you're gonna go to the Philippines, if you're gonna go Asia, type in backpacking Asia, or you know, exploring Asia, exploring Thailand. And there's loads of travel vloggers out there on YouTube, like myself, and really get inspired, really get motivated. Traveling is really not only the experience, but it's an investment in yourself. And I know that's a common saying, but it really is an investment in yourself. You see things that you will never see, you know, when you're stuck in a routine. You do things that you'll never do at home. And you know, you're adapting to situations that you've never been to. And for someone young as me to be able to travel, I am really grateful for it. When me and Jade was living in Australia, we couldn't afford to go out most of the times. You know, going out means like $14 a meal for a standard meal, which is about £7-8, and we couldn't afford that. So we pretty much, for 5 months in Australia, we pretty much ate only spaghetti and fried rice and some noodles. Those were the cheapest thing to buy in Australia. And yeah, it was daunting. It was not the nicest food, you know, but I absolutely love Melbourne. Like, even though we were living on very minimum basic expenses, you know, living on things, you know, doing things for free, we absolutely love Melbourne, and we are definitely going back to Melbourne sometime in the near future. You also gotta really plan it out and really be prepared for certain situations, emergent situations. Things like, you gotta factor things like travel insurance. Like, especially if you're going for a very long period of time, travel insurance can cost a lot of money. Things like flights, like outgoing flights, you know, you gotta factor that in your money as well. And another thing as well, flight coming home. Like what me and Jay did was that we had £1,000 separate money to our travel budget. So if something was to happen to us, or there was an emergency situation where we need to get home, we could literally go on Skyscanner and book a one-way ticket back home in the next few hours and go and fly in the next few hours. So no, you don't have to be rich to be able to travel the world. All you have to be is, you have to be organized, and you have to make sacrifices and be patient. There's people in different situations, you know, they might not be as young as me, they might not be living back home, they might have bills to pay. But at the end of the day, I still think that anyone can travel. Everyone can travel. It's just a matter of if you're willing to make the sacrifices. Like, I've seen through my travels, I've seen people in their retirement age, they're traveling the world, you know, for like three weeks, a month. There are stories out there where, you know, parents, mom, dad are traveling with their children, with their toddlers, with their baby. My GoPro is obviously won't be able to see this, but this guy, he's got like 4 pugs. I roughly about here. They're so cute. So I've been back home for a few months now, and I'm still living with my parents. I am broke, and I'm still currently unemployed. And you know what? It was absolutely worth it, and I would not change a thing. I would still do the same thing, because the experience you've gained is just, it's invaluable, you know? There are times when I'm like, yeah, you know, I like to save for a house, you know, I would like a nice car. But at the end of the day, money comes and go, you know, materialist things comes and go. But experiences, they stay with you forever. Right, I just want to end on this question really. And I always ask myself this question. This applies to travel as well as just general life. Is that in 20, 30 years time, where are you going to be? What kind of stories will you be telling your grandchildren? You know, those kind of questions really playing your mind. Life is a gift and you really need to live it to the fullest, you know. It can be anything, you just have to go and grab it. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you made it to the end, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in more travel contents like this, as well as fitness related contents, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.